Andrew, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, Sam. How are you?
Very well, sir. Great to see you. Great to see you, and very excited for kind of for us to dive into the results that you've created for yourself over the past 6 months in Alpha Body System. So you've been going through this journey for 6 months, right? And if you can look back to where you were at before you started with Alpha Body System, if you can imagine where you were at, what life was like, I'm curious for you, what was life like? What was your relationship to health and fitness before joining Alpha Body System?
All right. So, I mean, I've been an overweight person for my entire adult life, and even before then, I've never been healthy. That's probably the key part here. I've yo-yo dieted my entire life. In 2020, I decided to make a commitment to myself to make a change, and I did. I did. I starved myself. I did not go to the gym. I didn't correct any bad behavior. Right. I just replaced bad behavior with worse behavior, and I lost about 130 pounds. It was fantastic. And then as soon as I stopped, well, guess what? I ballooned all the way back up to where I was. So in 2023, I decided, time to do it again, and I did exactly the same thing. I didn't learn, and I dropped probably another 65 pounds. Right. And then January of 2024 hit, and I've kind of stymied, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what to do. And I start browsing on Instagram. And who do I see but Mr. Sam Johnson with Alpha Body Systems, and start liking a few posts. And 6 months later, here we are. Right. So what I was before ABS was lost. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how to do it properly, and I didn't know how to do it sustainably. So yeah.
Got
It's
it.
probably
Well,
the best way that I can put it.
yeah, well, I appreciate you, thinking about that path that led you to Alpha Body System. Now, I think this is probably an important part to hit on. Like when you talk about doing all the wrong things and doing things in a completely unsustainable way, like what were some of those things for you?
Sawdust diet, 1,200 calories, between 12 and 1,300 calories, no gym, no emphasis on muscle. And, knowing what I know now, I was probably losing muscle at the same rate that I was losing fat. I was weak. I was skinny. I was skinny, but I was not healthy. I was not healthy, and I certainly was not happy. The relationship with food was terrible. I gave up the greater part of my social life for a year to a year and a half, and I was miserable. And then the second that the social life came back, all the bad habits came with it, and the rest is history, right? So
Got it. Got it. Okay, so before Alpha Body System, you were on this roller coaster of losing weight, losing weight, gaining weight, lost in the sea of misinformation and conflicting information online in terms of the proper path to be following here. Now
lost in the
you've been,
sauce.
yeah, lost in the sauce. Well said. And now you've been in Alpha Body System for 6 months. You've seen
Yes.
firsthand, what it takes to do things sustainably and properly, and to do it with the right guidance, game plan, and mentorship along the way. So when you look back at the results that you've created over the past 6 months for yourself, what have those been for you?
So in the last 6 months, I have lost approximately 40 pounds, or 38, 40. You can tell me if I'm wrong there. I have changed my relationship with food. It's not fixed. I think that's probably something I'll always struggle with, but my relationship with food has changed in a very positive way. Uh, my body itself has changed drastically. I'm stronger. I fatigue a lot less. The compliments pour in from people who haven't seen me in a little while, and I've got a long way still to go, but it's pretty incredible what you guys have helped me achieve. Truly.
Hey man, well you've showed up consistently, you've been amazing with communication, and that's really what puts this all together, right? So when you talk about, getting stronger, losing the 40 pounds, I guess, like what has been the big differentiator from what you've gotten in Alpha Body System relative to all your previous attempts that didn't get you the results you were looking for?
Well, honestly, the weight loss and the strength gain is very positive, obviously, but the difference between ABS and non-ABS was the support. And it wasn't just, you and Coach Greg giving me the workout plans. It wasn't just drilling protein into my head. It was you guys being available to make the demons quiet. And as you know, I had a lot of them. I had a lot of them, and especially when I started, because nothing was really happening. We were trying different things, and we were doing all these, take this away, add this, try doing this, that. It did take a month or so, and I'm so grateful that I stuck with it, because it's almost like ABS was the Rosetta Stone of what success is to me, and how I can achieve everything, right? It was things like cutting out gluten. It was things like, I've been eating more with Alpha Body than I ever thought I would, right? Like it's a lot of food. um, yeah, so it was the 24/7 support. It was every little thing that I could possibly, something happened and I feel this way, and I know that I can just reach out to you guys and I get an answer, and it's not always the answer that I thought it was going to be, and it's not always the answer I wanted to hear, but it was the one that kept me going, and the one that really continued the path forward, when without you guys it definitely would have set me back, if
Mm,
not having, completely derailed entirely, which is what's happened in the past.
right. Okay. Gotcha. So it sounds like for you that 7 day support and really that guidance and that mentorship to cut through any uncertainty on your end on a day-to-day basis has been one of the biggest differentiators for you.
Oh yeah, well, for sure. And I think I could speak on behalf of a lot of bigger guys. The gym is absolutely terrifying. I didn't want to go. I think the very first thing I said to you guys was, "Hey, can I do this without going to the gym?" And you look me dead in my stupid face, and you're like, "No, no, you have to go. It is a key pillar. Muscle, muscle, muscle. It's a key pillar." And there's a lot of guys just like me who really, without help, without like help from people who truly understand, uh, pushing through those mental barriers is very difficult. I mean, losing weight as an overall concept, eat less, move more, is not difficult. But man, talk to anyone who's done it, and it's one of the hardest things that anyone's had to do,
Mhm.
right? So you guys, the support that ABS has provided was invaluable. Truly, and I know I sound like an infomercial here, but truly, it's how I feel. Like I have done more in less time than I ever would have without you guys, and I have no regrets. No regrets.
Well, we love hearing that. And we made some promises to you when you signed up that like this was going to be the thing that finally delivered you the results you're looking for in a data-driven and sustainable way, right? And here we are 6 months later, and you're reaping the benefits of all the effort that you put in. And
Sir.
you mentioned something earlier here, Andrew, which I think is really important for guys that have had a history of, yo-yo dieting, struggling with this for a long time. And it was that your relationship with food has massively improved, right? So what do you mean by that?
Well, uh, so cutting out. Well, so okay. So the relationship with food. It depends. It depends on from which lens you're looking at it from. In the past, I would overeat on things that I knew were bad for me. You know, I can't speak for everybody, but when it's like that what you're doing is wrong, but you can't help yourself from doing it, and then you hate yourself afterwards. I did that all the time. It was things like going to a restaurant and ordering two dishes instead of one. It was going to a fast food place and ordering minimum two sandwiches because one sandwich probably wasn't going to be enough. And it absolutely always was. But hey, I've already bought the other sandwich, so I better eat it. I don't want to waste the money. So, you know, meal prepping and having meals that are nutritious and properly filling and balanced, and learning that you can have a lot of the things that you enjoy as long as you get right back on track. You don't lose any progress. Like I have successfully eaten out multiple times on this journey with you guys, And in the past, if I had been anything less than perfect 100% of the time, I would have felt like a loser, felt like a failure. I would have gone right back to the way it was. And I did feel that way in the beginning of ABS, but that is why the communication and the support from you guys was so important. I could do something and I would spike 10 pounds back at the in the 290s, a spike of 10 pounds. And Greg would have to talk me off a ledge. And he did it over and over and over to the point where he was like, dude, stop stressing. This is normal. It's okay. And it was anything but normal for me. Like, this is what you're talking about. It took me 6 weeks to lose 12 pounds and I gained 10 pounds back in a day. Right. And then the funny thing is with Greg is that he's always right. If you just wait a little bit and you get right back on track by if I goofed on a Saturday, by the following Wednesday, I was at a new all-time weight low and everyone's in the call clapping for me. Right. So that was a big part of the relationship with food and how it's corrected it. Right. And it's little things like, I follow you on Instagram and I watch your little tidbits and ordering double protein at restaurants, game changer,
Yeah.
game changer. Because it's almost like having two meals, but you didn't, and you just stocked up on all the good stuff. So it's like a brain hack. It
Mhm.
takes your fat brain, your lizard brain, and it turns it into the meathead brain, which is the healthy one. So
There we
yeah,
go.
just
There we
little
go.
things like that. And again, long way to go, but I am very much on the right track.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that really stuck out to me here, Andrew, was like you commenting on how much like anxiety a holiday get together or like a meal out with friends or family would give you before. And now you're just, you know exactly what to do when you're going in those circumstances. You know exactly the things to look out for on the menu. And you're able to live a normal life and enjoy those moments with, friends, family, clients, and know that that's no longer a barrier for you to your long-term progress that you're making here. And I think that's one of the most valuable things because like having that sustainability and having that knowledge to know how to manage things when you're at a business meal or on vacation or traveling for work, that's exactly how you make this the default aspect of your lifestyle moving forward, which is one of the things that you and I talked about on our original call.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the number one thing, and Greg's gonna love that I'm saying this, but the number one Gregism was a failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yep.
Right? We laugh at it every time he says it. We basically got Greg bingo going on in the group chats now, but it's absolutely true, especially when you live a professional life and you're out there all the time, or you've got an active social life. It's as simple as pre-planning what you're going to get at a restaurant and making sure it fits within your day. It's making the changes the week before leading up to it to make sure you save a little bit. And you can't lose a pound of fat in a day the same way it's really hard to gain a pound of fat in the day. And as long as you keep that in mind, it's really not that difficult to have these little blips, these enjoyable times, that drink with your buddy, that sushi date with your partner. Like, you can do it. Uh, you just have to put a little bit of thought into it, right? You
Mhm.
can't just go in like a bull in a china shop. It really does help to think about things like that. And just as a person trying to be healthy, I think everyone should probably think about their food choices. They
Mhm.
should think about the food quality. They should think about what they're putting into their body, because it really does change everything about you. It changes how you feel, and how you feel impacts how the world sees you, because your confidence is spiking. The works, man. Preparing, like thinking ahead about what you're going to put into your body, is something that I will take with me through ABS and certainly beyond.
Love that. Love that. Failure to plan is planning to fail. I feel like everyone in Alpha Body System needs to get that tattooed on them somewhere.
Hey man, I need the shirt. It better be
Coming.
on the merch.
It's
It
coming.
better be on the merch.
It will. It will be. It will be amazing. Well, look, Andrew, you came into Alpha Body System 6 months ago. You've absolutely crushed it. You've seen, how the sausage is made, and you've seen the magic behind, everything that we do within the community. For you, what advice or what words of wisdom would you have for someone who's on the fence, considering, if Alpha Body System is going to be the thing that finally gets them the results they're looking for on their fitness and weight loss journey?
If you could have done it alone, you would have. It really, it really is that simple because, there's a lot of programs out there, and I thought about doing something like this for as long as I could remember. And I always thought, oh, I don't need it. I don't need it. I can do it by myself. If I could have done it by myself, I wouldn't be standing in front of you at the age I am, being as heavy as I am, right? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay not to know. Uh, there's so much information online, so many different people pulling you in so many different directions that it's nauseating. I've tried every fad diet known to man. I've done random workouts that said they would do X, Y, Z. You know, until you commit and listen to people and get helped by people who are knowledgeable, it's you're not going to know the benefits of it, right? So yeah, I understand being on the fence. I was on the fence. I have been on the fence for a huge portion of my fitness journey, right? And the advice that I would give is just do it. Just do it. Try it. Try it for the 3 months, try it for the 6 months. It's worth it. It is. It's just worth it. Like I couldn't be where I don't think I would be where I am today without you guys. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Well, look, dude, you should give yourself a lot should give yourself a lot of credit here because you've done such a good job of staying the course, committing to the plan, giving Greg and I all the feedback and the heads up on what's going on your end to be able to coach effectively. And ultimately, you're the one showing up on a day-by-day basis, putting the work in and making this all click. So you feel very proud of the results that you've created so far. And I really appreciate you taking the time today to share a bit about your journey with Alpha Body System. And we also know that this is just the start of the progress that you're going to make for yourself here, and that this is just going to keep getting better and better for you.
I appreciate you, sir.
Awesome. All right, Angie. Well, thank you. We'll talk soon. Okay.
We'll talk soon.
All right. See you.